नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्यति जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. नाम संकीर्तन की श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि बोल हरे शलाकय चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुर्वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिन्निधि नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you, dear devotees. So let's continue our study of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto Srimad Bhagavatam. So we are studying from Canto 1, chapter 8. And today we begin from verse number 37. So we have covered till verse number 36. 37. Shrunvanti Gayanti ho gaya last week.
Briefly, we touched.
We touched on that, yes. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Yeah. Okay, we'll begin. It's not correct. You don't. What do you see then?
Canto 1 to chapter 8.
That's what.
Oh, that's what.
No, I have not started. We just listening. But yeah. So as we say, whatever I am going to speak, this is from Srila Prabhupada's purports and other commentary that I have read and other lecture that I have read. Nothing is my own creation. Everything is coming from Krishna and our Guru Parampara. So all the credit goes to them. But whatever mistake that may be found will be solely mine. Hare Krishna. And I would like to bow down and thank all the Guru work whom I listen to and who I take inspiration from to bless me and help me serve the Vaishnavas who are gathered here today. Hare Krishna. Thank you. So we have, today we have a small gathering. Like, Mahaprabhu used to have a very small gathering in Gambhira. Gambhira was like a very small room. Hardly 15-20 devotees could have come, very small. But they were already intimate associates. So like that you all have gathered because you give regular association. So that's very nice. Thank you very much. Okay. So this verse is very amazing, dear devotees. Verse number 37. And purport is also very nice. In fact, just one line from this purport can change our life, whole life, if you just implement that. It's so profound. It is so beautiful. Okay, so first let's recite this verse. So this verse is going to talk about complete dependence. We all are told, in Krishna consciousness, we should be depending on Krishna, right? Like we say that the example is given by Srila Prabhupada many times, and all Guru work also gives like a child crying for mother, full dependence. When a newborn baby is there, she can or he cannot do anything, right? 100% dependent on mother. Even he has to change the nappy, mother is required. She has to feed, mother is required. She has to wake up, get up. Nothing. 100% dependent. In which, how much care is being taken care by mother? Now, Akshat comes and mother, can you please wear me shoes? Oh, no, you can do it. Come on, put it on. When he was young, mother, oh, yeah, I will do it with all the affection. It's not that affection has gone down. It's not that, but Akshat has now become independent, little bit, right? So similarly, in this material world also, we all try to become independent. Meaning, I will do with my own strength, I will do with my own intelligence. I have money power, I have muscle power. This is what causes to become independent. And we lose our dependence on Krishna. In fact, every moment we should be remembering Krishna. Oh Krishna, for everything. Because we are dependent. Like a child is always thinking, mother, when she will come. As soon as mother comes, when child is just awakened, child just smiles. Like that, all the parent knows it, how the child smiles as soon as we go in front of the child. Similarly, when we come in front of Krishna, we should immediately smile. But that's very difficult to come out. Natural smile is very difficult to come out. But you have to keep trying artificially also. Like, we go to Walmart and Kroger, how the shopkeeper, the cashier, they give plastic smile. Like that. But there's nothing means from inside. Like that, we can also smile, at least practice. They say, fake it till you make it. Just at least practice. That's what they say. So it's very nice. Yeah, so let us read this verse, because only, in fact, in material world, what is praised? Independence is praised. Oh, I'm independent, so he's praised. Oh, this is good. He's become independent. And in spiritual world, it is opposite, right? Because Urdhva Mula, Adha Shaka. We saw that it's a perverted reflection, material world, the perverted reflection of the spiritual world. In spiritual world, dependence is glorified. If you are dependent on Krishna, then oh yes, I'll take care. But here it is opposite. So therefore, this verse is very important. The complete dependence on Krishna, 100%. So many examples are there. So first, let's recite this verse. Apyatya nastavam sakrute hita prabho. Apyatya nastavam sakrute hita prabho. Jihasasi swit suhardo nujivinaha. Jihasasi swit suhardo nujivinaha. Yesham na chanyat bhavat padambujata. Yesham na chanyat bhavat padambujata. Parayanam rajasu yojitam hasama. So, Robert Prabhu, would you like to read the translation? If you can unmute and read translation, that would be nice. You're on mute, Prabhu, so you cannot hear you.
O my Lord, you have executed all duties yourself. You are leaving us today, though we are completely dependent on your mercy and have no one else to protect us now when all kings are at enmity with us. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Robert Prabhu. So Robert Prabhu has got a little cough, so he said, I will not come, but he always want to join, so he's online today. So now here we need to understand some points from this. So what is mentioned? You have, Kunti Devi is trying to tell. So from verse 37 to 40, Kunti Devi is now desperately pursuing Krishna. That please stay back. In these 3-4 verses, she's trying to say, Krishna, please stay back. She's giving all the reasons. She's given many reasons before also. But now she is giving further more and more reasons are being given. Like when some loved one goes, we also say, please come back, we missed you. And we couldn't feed you this. Next time we at least stay for another, we can make it this item. Oh no, we haven't gone to this park or this place. Please stay for a few more days. Like that we always say it with people whom we love, isn't it? So that's what Kunti Devi is saying. She's pursuing Lord Krishna for more association. So she's thinking, and in her mind, that she's thinking, do you desire to leave us today? Are you planning to leave us today? I mean, Krishna is ready to go, and she's thinking. So Krishna might come back. Now, sometimes, we also think like this. If I say this, what other person say, what I will say, like that we keep playing like a own chess game, right? Okay, if he says this, I will say this. If he say this, I will say this. Like that we play with our mind also many times, isn't it? So here Kunti Devi is doing something. So she says, oh, you're going to leave us today finally? And then she says, Krishna may say, I have worked in Dwarka. Because he has been here for so much, a long time, right? He was here for the whole negotiation, then the war, and then aftermath and all those things. So he was there for many, many months. And everybody in Dwarka Dham is also waiting for him to see here all the queens, all the sons, all the Dwarkas, everybody is waiting. So he says, Krishna might say, I have work at Dwarka. So then Kunti Devi think that, oh, but all your work is accomplished by yourself, it is automatically. I mean, you don't have to do anything. So there is a word which is used here. Swakrute hita. Swakrute hita means self-executed. You can do it anywhere. So you don't have to worry about you going there. You can do it from here also. That's what Kunti Devi said. Let's go further into this. So, and we'll finish this translation of first and then we'll go into the purport. Now here, it is mentioned, where is it gone? Yeah. That no one else to protect. Now, when all kings and enemy are at enmity with us. What has happened in Kurukshetra war? So many kings and soldiers died. Both the parties. But there are also opposite party whom some of them survived. So now they become enemy, right? Because you have killed them, their people. So they will also want to take revenge at some point in time. So they say, oh, there are so many kings who might be enemy with us. So who will protect us? That's a pleading. She's pleading to Krishna. Let's please stay back. Now, one may ask this question. Kunti Devi is a devotee. A devotee is what? Paradukha Dukhi. In others, Dukha, we also feel sadness. Right? Now, she knows very well that Dwarkavasis are also feeling separation from Krishna. Krishna is here for so long. So actually, she should allow him to go. No, Krishna, please go. They've been waiting, but I don't want to be selfish. So here it looks like the Kunti Devi is selfish, isn't it? It feels like that because she's trying to keep Krishna with him and extending the separation of his wife and children and Dwarkavasi more and more. So Acharya has explained that it is out of love. The love is such an emotion that he cannot see anything else. He wants it more and more and more. So love is that emotion which forgets everything else. That's why that is called the highest in emotion. Love is the highest in any emotion. That's why Madhurya is the highest. That's a conjugal love, right? Even in mundane world, if you see, if you have love, then you can give up anything and everything for that emotion, just for that emotion, isn't it? So it is so powerful. So because Kunti Devi has so much love for Krishna, and Krishna has so much love for them, Kunti Devi is out of love. She is saying, no, please stay back. She is forgetting that Dwarkavasi are also waiting for it. And she is saying. So this is how our Acharyas explains. Now, let us read the purport. It's a very beautiful purport. So, translation, all the translation purport by our beloved Gurudev, Srila Abhay Charanarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Purport. The Pandavas are most fortunate because with all good luck, they were entirely dependent on the mercy of the Lord. So see this. This is the most profound statement. If we imbibe this and try to implement this one thing in our life will become successful. What is that? The one important word is entirely dependent on the mercy of the Lord. Entirely. Not 99%, not 99.99%, 100%. 100%. So that dependence is required to get mercy of Krishna. So Pandavas, regardless of their fame and whatever opulence they had. I mean, look at Bhim and Arjun and all. They are such a powerful warrior. They could single-handedly defeat millions of soldiers and all that. They're such a warrior. But still they are dependent on Krishna. And we have nothing. And we are trying to be independent. We have nothing. Nothing like that. Not much intelligence. They don't have so much strength and power. But still everybody in the material world is trying to lord over each other, trying to become independent, trying to control each other. This is material world. That's an unfortunate situation. So here we can see, in the material world, to be dependent on the mercy of someone else is the utmost sign of misfortune. But in case of our transcendental relation with the Lord, it is the most fortunate case when we can live completely dependent on Him. It's called Goptrutre Varna. Out of 6 Sharanagati limbs, one is a Goptrutre Varna, means completely dependent on Sharanagati, on Krishna. If you are dependent on someone in material world, people think, oh, he's like a beggar. Like, if you ask someone, why don't he buy himself this such a $10 thing? Why is asking, bothering us? Sometimes thought comes in mind. Why is begging? He has got so much money, but still he is asking me for these small things. So that is how people see it in the material world. But in spiritual world, it's opposite. Your dependence is celebrated. Wow, he is dependent on Krishna. The more you dependent, the more you are celebrated. So let's hear one story. So anybody has attended Rath Yatra? Not this Yatra, any Rath Yatra.
Yeah.
How much crowd is it? 1,000 and 1,000, right? But here, millions. This is Jagannath Puri Rath Yatra. Puri Rath Yatra is like millions of people. It is estimated on a Rath Yatra day, sometimes there are like 10 to 14 million people. Just imagine, this is such a small place, 10 to 14 million people. It is unfathomable. So, one American Prabhupada disciple went for Rath Yatra because after hearing all these things, everybody wants to visit the Dham. So he was interested in going to Dham. So he went.
In Puri?
Yes, in Puri,
Yeah.
during Jagannath Puri, Rath Yatra. Now, this is few decades ago, but still, rush is there. It is not that 50 years ago it was a small Rath Yatra. No, even that time, the millions of people used to come. So he went there. Now, he was living in a dharmashala at the time, and he did not want to leave all the documents like passport, license, credit card, all the money, important things and all that. And so he carried with him, just make sure that he ties it and carries so that nothing gets stolen in the dharmashala also. So he goes in the Rath Yatra and he's dancing in ecstasy with the devotee and all that. And next moment he realized that his purse is gone. He just got everything. His passport, his visa, his American passport, visa, driving license, credit card, all the cash. He had nothing. Now what? Because now he is supposed to leave in few days back to US. He cannot leave because going back to US means he needs visa and passport, which he doesn't have, right? And he has nothing to prove his identity also. And if he goes to embassy also, it will take few weeks to get the passport, And he has no money, so he cannot even call, like his credit card is stolen. So he cannot even stop credit card, someone calling bank and say, hey, can you stop this? He don't know what is happening with his credit card also. So he was in such a dilemma. And after the yatra is over, now what to do? He was like, folding his kurta and asking, begging to Dhamma, please give me some money, please give me some money. I have lost everything. And so that time he had nothing with him. And he was feeling completely dependent on Krishna. And when he was narrating this story recently, when we went to Washington, DC, he was speaking with Adigadar Prabhuji and he was narrating this. And he says that though I had nothing, that feeling of complete dependence on Krishna was such an amazing experience. That was the best yatra in my life. Now, even if somebody is losing everything, still they consider this is my best yatra. If we lose something in our yatra, some water bottle on that, then also we, "Arey, man, this was such a terrible, I lost this." If we lose one simple thing also, it is a terrible, I lost this. My bag was lost and it came after a few days, and then we feel that everything should be packed and everything should be all right. But here, everything was lost, fully dependent on Krishna, and he was feeling ecstasy. He was able to remember that. So, this is when we are completely dependent on Krishna, then these kind of things will give us ecstasy. Otherwise, we will feel like this only. Oh, my one tumbler left out, and it was like expensive. All those thought will come in our mind. It was the only thing, somebody gifted me. All the excuse will come in our mind. But here, complete dependence, nothing. And therefore, we also should be thinking like this: that when will I become completely dependent, completely surrendered to Krishna? When that day will come? It can come, because yesterday I was listening to one lecture, and that Acharya, that Gurudev, the sannyasi is from Bhaktivedanta Manor in London, Swayam Bhagwan Keshav Maharaj. His holiness is Swayam Bhagwan Keshav Maharaj. So he was saying that when we think that we are in Krishna consciousness, we need to be very careful. Are we really in Krishna consciousness? What actually Krishna consciousness means? Just because we are chanting, we are not executing material activities, we are trying to not to do that. We are reading all these scriptures, we are listening. Is that Krishna consciousness? He said we have to be very careful. We are not there yet. Krishna consciousness means we are thinking 24 hours, absorbed in Krishna. That is Krishna consciousness. He said this is beginning. And what happens just by doing this small activities, we feel we are Krishna conscious. We feel we are better than materialistic people. And we get that. And then what happens? Sometime Maya will catch us. Because we become careless, proud and careless. Proud person becomes blind. I've got everything. Who cares? I have so much money. Nobody can do anything to me. Big people, millions of dollars, they kept in bank and they died. Their money could not save them. So we should never become proud. And we should never become ignorant. We should always feel that Maya is just sitting next to me. My Gurudev, His Holiness Radhanath Swami, in his lecture, he tells, when I'm telling you about how to take care of how we can avoid Maya, do you think Maya Devi is not listening to me? She's listening and she's making plans. Okay, this devotee has heard this instruction. Now let me trick him in some different way. She's listening to us. This conversation is she's listening and she's planning. What can I do to make sure this person gets trapped? This is her. This is Krishna's potency, as powerful as Krishna. So therefore, we have to be very, very careful. Never become little slightest ignorance should not be there. Like, when you're driving on a road, how much attention? Even if you're sleeping, you're like, we tell our, person sitting next to us, please keep talking. I'm feeling sleepy. Or we stop and sprinkle water in our eyes, and we get up and we start driving. Because we know that little mistake and then it could be fatal, right? Very dangerous. Same thing. Krishna conscious is equally like that. We have to be very careful. Just because we are chanting in Brahma Murta, just because we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam every day, just because we are associating with devotees, because we are having prasadam, we are going to temple, celebrating festival, we are fasting, Ekadasi, doesn't mean that we are protected. Of course, it gives some kind of protection, but it also brings a subtle pride. And that can cause our fall down. Like Chitraketu Maharaj. He had darshan of Krishna, everything, and then he got little proud, little pride. And then he had to take birth as a Vitrasu, as a demon in the next life, because he made that mistake. So likewise, we have to be very careful. We have to be fully dependent. When child is fully dependent, there is no question of being proud, right? Because child can do nothing without parents. Similarly, if we are dependent on Krishna and we think I can do nothing without Krishna, then there will be no pride. Then we'll become humble. Like today morning class, Adhya Prabhu was mentioning Bhakti Center. He was mentioning that to become humble, one need to get humiliated. Now, not necessarily that one can need to become, because it's very difficult to become humble, first of all. So sometimes humiliation only makes us humble. Like, getting insulted in front of many people and all those things. Sometimes we think I'm going to execute in the best way. And at that time only something fails. Sometimes we have prepared so much for some meeting. And in that meeting only, miserably, something doesn't work and we fail. And people chastise us. And then we become humble. No, I'm fully dependent on Krishna. So we should not wait for humiliation to happen, isn't it? Why wait for that to happen? We should just become humble. Humble like a blade of grass. Very important. So let's read further, because this is a very nice purport. The material disease is due to thinking of becoming independent of everything. But the cruel material nature does not allow us to become independent. Nobody is independent in this world. Nobody. We all are interdependent. We all are depending on somebody else. Are we growing our food ourselves? No, we are dependent on the farmer. Farmer is dependent on the company who will buy and sell. So everybody is dependent on each other. Nobody is independent. So how can somebody say, I'm independent? Nothing. Independent means doing everything by yourself. Not by calling somebody, okay, I'm giving you $100, please clean our home. That is not dependent. Dependent means I will do it myself. That means everything has to be done by you. All those things. So nobody is independent in material world in a true sense. But falsely people think, yeah, I'm independent because I can buy things, I can do things on my own, I can order and get things done. That is still not dependent. You are still depending on that person to exhibit that. The false attempt to become independent of the stringent law of nature is known as material advancement of experimental knowledge. Right? Material advancement is what? We don't want to depend on driver. We driverless car. That is material advancement. But that is still not independence. The whole material world is moving on this false attempt of becoming independent of the laws of nature. Beginning from Ravan, who wanted to prepare direct staircase to the planet of heaven, down to the present age, they are trying to overcome the laws of nature. So Ravan wanted to build a staircase from Sri Lanka to directly you can walk. That was his plan. See, our planetary system is there. So he was planning from Bhumandal till Svargaloka. He said, I'll walk. That was it. That was not ordinary wooden, like we have in our backyard, we put the wooden, golden steps. But anybody who thinks like that, it's like a round mentality. A lot of false egos. They are trying now to approach a distant planetary system by electronic mechanical power, like sending satellites, and all those stuff. But the highest goal of human civilization is to work hard under the guidance of the Lord and become completely dependent on Him. Now, next sentence, very important. Please listen carefully. The highest achievement of perfect civilization is to work with valor, but at the same time, depend completely on the Lord. So whatever intelligence we have to use it. We have to use that. But at the same time, we have to depend on the God. We have to depend on Krishna. Like many times students, they study so hard. At the exam time, they just forget, oh, my mind has become blank. We all have observed this, right? Sometimes you have to speak something and suddenly the thought goes away. And say, I was about to say you something, but I just missed it. When you're talking to someone on the phone also, we become blank at times, isn't it? We all must have experienced that. So we have to depend completely on Krishna for everything. It's such an important thing. The Pandavas were ideal executors of this standard of civilization, undoubtedly, they were completely dependent on the goodwill of Lord Shri Krishna, but they were not ideal parasites of the Lord. So see, this is also important that we are not, oh, Krishna, I am dependent, so I will sit and do nothing. No, that is also not right. That is also not good. Krishna has given us strength, knowledge, intelligence, all these things given. Use that in the service of Krishna. And the right fruits will come to us. If a student is studying and parents give them everything, computer, books, and all the things, but the student is not using those resources, then what's the point? Right? The student has to use all the facilities which is given. Similarly, all the facilities given by Krishna, we can use that in service of Krishna. That is the whole purpose. They were all highly qualified, both by personal character and by physical activities. Still, they always looked for the mercy of the Lord because they knew that every living being is dependent by constitutional position. So, what is our constitutional position? Is das, dasanu, das. We are the servant of the servant of the servant. Eventually we are servant of Lord Krishna. So that we should always remember, and then we will know that we have to work for Krishna. We will not sit idle. If you have a maid servant in home and they're just sitting and watching TV, what will you do? Right? So much work is there. You're sitting and watching TV. Come on, do this work. Isn't it? Same thing with us. Like if you sit in the office and just watch YouTube video, tomorrow our email will be disabled because we are no longer required. Oh, YouTube, we go and watch at home. Isn't it? So similarly, we should also work for Krishna as long as we have strength. In fact, there is one beautiful verse which I had got it. Let me just find out if I can find it. Some good thing, when I find it, I send it to myself. And I keep it so that yesterday I was reading one, yesterday or today morning. Yeah. So, see, Prabhupada says this. In devotional service, we have to execute with patience, with enthusiasm. Utsaha dhairya nischaya. Tat tat karma pravartana. We must be enthusiastic that I shall engage myself very nicely in Krishna conscious movement. That is first qualification, enthusiastic. That means we should all do all our duties. Because for a devotee, all their activities, either chanting, book distribution, cooking, taking care of the family, working for a company, everything is Krishna conscious because we are going to use whatever revenue that we get in the service of Krishna. Whatever activity we do, it is for advancing into Krishna consciousness. So all our activities are Krishna conscious activities only. Therefore, all the activity must be executed with full enthusiasm, 100%. Right? So Prabhupada says further, dullness will not help you. You must be very enthusiastic. And then Prabhupada quotes Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He says, my Guru Maharaj used to say, Pran ache yara sei hetu prachar. Means a person can become a preacher if he has got life. A dead man cannot become a preacher. So you must be very enthusiastic. That I shall preach the glories of the Lord to the best of my capacities. So that means what? All the services. If you are dead, nobody bothers. Nobody is worried about it. But if you're alive, then people will not say, why are you sitting idle? Please do something. Can you do this, do this? Go to temple and see how much work we'll get. Somebody said, oh, can you please do this? Because we are alive. So we have to do this service. So this is important point which is mentioned here. Now further down in this, Prabhupada says, separation from the Lord, for Pandavas, for Pandavas, separation from the Lord was just like the separation of a fish from the water. Have you seen fish coming out of the water? How she's waiting, like that. She's moving, trying to breathe oxygen through water, and she's not able to get. So that's the separation. Srimati Kunti Devi therefore felt such separation like a thunderbolt, and the whole prayer of the queen is to try to pursue the Lord to stay with them. Because after the battle of Kurukshetra, although the inimical kings were killed, their sons and grandsons were still there to deal with the Pandavas. It is not only the Pandavas who were put into the condition of enmity, but all of us are you always in such a condition. And the best way of living is to become completely dependent on the will of the Lord and thereby overcome all difficulties of material existence. So, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to say, this material world is not a place for a gentleman. Gentleman definition not by the, the Western world and all that. Gentleman is wearing tie, nice looking, speaking. That is not gentleman. Gentlemen who follow the scriptures, that is gentleman. So, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, gentleman. Material world is not a place for gentlemen. We have to remember this point. So now we have to remember that if we are dependent on Krishna, then that is our perfection. Our perfection is dependent on Krishna. Okay, let's move to the next verse, verse number 30. So here, Pandava's fame is being discussed. So Kunti Devi is thinking that Krishna may say, Krishna may say, oh, you got Bhim and Arjuna who are very powerful, because it's Pandava's glory is coming in this verse, right? And Yudhishthira Maharaj is a Dharma Parsina because he's a son of Dharma, Yamaraj's son. So, and Yadavas, which is my, family, are all your friends. So why you have to worry? Everybody is powerful in your place, so you don't have to worry about it, right? That's what Kunti Devi thinks that Krishna might tell. And therefore now she's speaking this particular verse. So let us verse number 38. Kevayam nama rupabhyam
Evayam nama rupabhyam
yadubhihi saha pandava
yadubihi saha pandava
bhavato darshanam yarhi
bhavato darshanam yarhi
rishikanam iveshituhu
Rishakanam iveshituhu.
The particular one is finished with the disappearance of the living spirit. Similarly, if you do not look upon us, all our standing and activities, along with the Pandavas and the Yudhis, will end balance.
Hare Krishna. So,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So he said, if you do not look up, if you not take care of her, if you not side by her, then everything will go away. Everything will end. And all the protection that we are getting from Krishna, it will go away. So she is saying that fame and activities of Pandavas and Yadus, both the side, and her parental side and her son's side also. They, without Krishna, she is saying it is like a body without the soul, or any senses without a soul. If you have senses but there is no soul, can the sense enjoy? Sense has no meaning. So she is saying, giving this analogy here. Purport. Kunti Devi is quite aware that existence of the Pandavas is due to Sri Krishna only. The Pandavas are undoubtedly well established in name and fame and are guided by the great king Yudhishthira, who is morality personified, and the Yadus are undoubtedly great allies. But without the guidance of Lord Krishna, all of them are non-entities. As much as the sense of the body are useless without the guidance of consciousness. No one should be proud of his prestige, power, and fame without being guided by the favor of the Supreme Lord. This is the important thing. We should not be proud of anything that we have. We should always feel that because of Krishna's mercy, I'm getting all this. And now I should not enjoy this. I should use this in the service of Krishna. That should be our mood. The living beings are always dependent And the ultimate dependable object is the Lord Himself. So we are dependent on whom? We are dependent on insurance. We have home insurance, car insurance, health insurance, everything insurance. We are dependent on all the insurance companies. But we know when we have to claim insurance, what they do, right? They will try to find all the loopholes and give you little as possible. That's what they do. But if you are dependent on Krishna, Krishna will give 100%. We may therefore invent by our advancement of material knowledge all sorts of counteracting material sources. But without being guided by the Lord, all such inventions end in fiasco. However strong and stout the reactionary elements may be. All the cars, let's take an example of a car. So much advancement has happened, meaning the accidents should have actually reduced, right? Because car is now advanced, it can do lane control and what is the crash control and all those things are there. But still, the cars are, more and more people are meeting with an accident. Why? So this material advancement does not help much. It helps to a certain extent. But for the real purpose of the life, they are not useful. They are not useful. In fact, in the next few verses, Prabhupada gives a purpose that material advancement is actually causing more and more problem. Because we try to advance our life. We create so much problem for the environment, for ourselves and others, and for harming ourselves. So much technology advancement has happened. Has the peace been achieved? We are having more and more stress. They develop so many apps how to develop peace, right? In our company, they give free subscription to everybody. Okay, this application, you download and feel peace. How the peace is going to come? They will do some, some music will be played and nice, and then we can just, okay, now see, this is what is happening. That's not peace. That's going to give peace. No. So this material advancement is not actually giving us peace. It is causing more and more trouble. So we should never think that material advancement will bring happiness in this world. No. People come from India to America thinking the life will be better, peaceful, happy. Now people feel, no, that's not the case. Earlier, a lot of people wanted to get married to people who are like green card holders and citizens and all that. But now they realize that when you go there, you have to do everything by yourself. There's no maid servant, so they don't want to come here. I better be doing India because at least I get a maid servant. I just call and they'll come. That's the thinking. So we may find that it is pleasure, but actually it is not. This world itself is not a pleasurable. It's a dukkhalaya. So we should not do anything else. Verse number 39. Verse number 39. Neyam shobhyate tatra
Neyam sobhishyate tatra
tathe danim gadadhara
Vedanim gadadara
tvat padeir ankita bhati
Patpader ankita bhati
swalakshana vilakshiteha.
Lakshana vilakshitaha.
Akshat, can you please read it? Oh, I have to go there. Sorry. Yeah. Hare Krishna. So
Hare
here,
Krishna.
now Kundina is further saying, oh Krishna. So how many symbols are there on Krishna's lotus feet? Anybody know? That is by number. Any number? I guess any number, that's fine. There's nothing like a right and wrong.
8.
Let me go back. Okay. Please count. Get this.
Wow.
Yes, Mata, you got it right. 19.
Huh.
19 symbols. Yeah, duplicate we should not count. It's all 19 unique symbols on Krishna's feet. Our nothing is there. Only lines are there. This is called lotus feet of Krishna. It's such a beautiful, isn't it?
Mhm.
So yes, so we are going to talk about each of these, what it means. We need to understand all this thing, right? So in this word. So she is telling Krishna, when you leave, because when Krishna walks on the earth, all the impressions, because see, when the investigator has to identify a thief and somebody who what they do, they look at the prints, your handprint or footprint, and then they catch you from there, isn't it? Because they are all unique to you. And whenever you walk, you leave those foot marks, the marks are left, right? Similarly, Krishna's footprints are there everywhere, wherever he walks. That time, nobody is wearing shoes and all that. So she's saying, oh, Krishna, when you go away, all these marks will not be there on this earth. We will not be able to see it. You know, like in case of, what is that? Damodar Leela. How Mother Yasoda finds Krishna? Through her footsteps, right? She said, oh, footsteps are going from this spot to the storeroom. Okay, Krishna is there. So similarly, when a devotee sees Krishna's feet, they feel, oh, Krishna is here. Like example is Akrura. When Akrura enters Vrindavan, he immediately sees Krishna's lotus feet. And how he identifies? From the symbols. And he immediately comes and he prays profusely. Oh, now I will be able to see Krishna. He feels so blissful. He feels so happy to see those footprints. Like similarly, when our, children have gone to a college and they are studying there, so they come home without telling us. And we have come from office and we see their shoes. Oh, she has come. Hey, she's here. Oh, how are you? Like immediately, isn't it? Our eyes become wide. What is this shoes? What Malika did like this to us. She was telling, we'll come tomorrow and all that. I'm with my friend, so I will come tomorrow. And she's actually driving back home. And we were thinking that, okay, we'll sleep and all that kind of stuff. And suddenly we are trying to sleep and suddenly the bell rings. And so when she's there, I said, hey, surprise. So her friend was only, she lives in coming only, so she was dropped her. But she's saying, something is coming at your home, I've sent you something. I have sent you something, so please wait. So I thought somebody is coming and giving it. So I said, okay, I kept the lights on. But I changed and I was waiting. Okay, something will come. And it was like 10:30. I feel very sleepy at that time. Then the bell rang and we were there. We said, who will ring? We'll see. Somebody is coming, so why we should wait here? If our children are coming, then we'll wait at the door. We're sitting inside and doing something. And suddenly bell rang. And we thought, oh, chalo, something has come. Let's find out. And I think it was our anniversary or something like that. Something was there. Something, not anniversary, some birthday was there. Something like that. And like that. So he said, I've sent you something. I said, all right. Then we open. And she's there with all her things. And we're like, oh. The same thing is this thing, when we see Krishna's feet, devotee feel very happy, joy in there. See, material world gives so much happiness. Just imagine when we go to spiritual world, when we are in the spiritual world, we are completely absorbed in Krishna consciousness, then how much ecstasy we will feel. So one of that is given here. See, for example, in this verse comes from the Vrindavan Ashtakam. So let us read it. Kim te krutam hantapakshititi.
Kim te kritam hanto tapakshiti.
Gopyo pibhume stuvate smakiritim.
Gopyo pibhume stuvate smakirtim.
Yenaiva Krishna ngripadam kitesmin.
Yenaiva Krishna kripadantismin.
Mama suvrundavane vavasa.
Mamastu Vrindavana eva vasa.
Can you please translate?
Here the gopis glorified saying, who or what austerity have you done so that your surface is now marked with Krishna footprints? May I reside in Vrindavan?
Look at this.
Hare Krishna.
Function of gopis saying that earth, what have you done? What austerity you have done? That Krishna is putting footprints on you and not on us. Also, our Acharya says, like we talked about earlier in class, right? When we go to temple, we should begin taking darshan of Krishna from his lotus feet onwards. So such an important place. Our ultimate residence should be at the lotus feet of the Lord. That is what is being glorified in this verse. I think it looks like, oh, it's your footprint. It looks like a very simple word, but it's not a very deep actually. So, in purport, Prabhupada says, there are certain particular marks on the feet of the Lord which distinguish the Lord from others. As you know, everybody has a unique footprint and fingerprints and all that, right? The marks of a flag, thunderbolt, and instruments to drive an elephant, umbrella, lotus, this, etc., are on the bottom of the lotus feet, Lord's lotus feet. These marks are impressed upon the soft dust of the land where the Lord travels. The land of Hastinapur was thus marked while Lord Sri Krishna, was there with the Pandavas, and the kingdom of the Pandavas thus flourished by such auspicious signs. Kunti Devi pointed out that these distinguished features and are afraid of ill luck in absence of the Lord. Sometimes just by seeing the corpse car, thief will not come nearby, isn't it? It happens, right? You see it stop and they will stop. Similarly, when somebody sees Krishna's footprint, Krishna is there, we should not do anything. So she said, now your mark will not be seen and ill effect may come. So why you want to go? This is our feeling. So now let's understand the marks and what they actually mean. So this is Krishna's lotus feet. How beautiful. Whoever has done this is such a nice picture. Very, very amazing. Okay. So let us try to understand. So I will send this picture to all of you. The original picture, which is large, you want to print it, you can print it also. But I know Robert, sometimes I forget, so please remind me. Robert Prabhu will remind me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now look at this. So let us read about each one of them. Very, very important thing, because each symbol represent and give something. They mean something. Okay, that we need to understand. And if you understand that, we will be very happy. So all these descriptions are given by His Holiness Mahanidhi Swami in his book, how to chant japa, something like that. So that book is there, in which he writes all these things. So if you see R and K, means Radha and Krishna both have that. If you see only K, means only Krishna has got that symbol. Radharani also has got some unique marks. Similarly, Krishna has got some unique marks. And some marks are common between Radha and Krishna. And Maharaj has painstakingly read so many Puran. It is from Skanda Puran, Matsya Puran, Garga Samhita, Sartha Darshini, Anand Chandrika, Rup Chintamani, Shri Karapada Yugala Samarthi. All these things are taken from different books, and then he compiled all this. So look at how much pain Acharyas are taking to give us these details, small details. As my Guru Maharaj used to say, love is in the details. When you love someone, you will try to do everything in the best possible way. Everything is all right, no mistakes, no error, all that. It's detailed. So let us read one after another. So you want to see Mataji? Is it big enough to read? Yeah, please go ahead.
First one.
Yeah, Conchal.
Conchal, R.A. The conchal is the symbol of victory, proclaiming that those who take shelter of Radha Govinda's Lotus feet are always safe from all distress and awarded with fearlessness. As the conchal holds water for bathing the divine couple, the lotus feet contain divine amrita that extinguishes the blazing fire of material miseries of activity.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So conch shell has got a nectar. And if you get that nectar, all the miseries go away. That's why the Samudra Manthan happened. Everybody wanted the nectar and they would, all the miseries will go away. So everybody is after nectar, isn't it? So this is the, therefore, if we take the shelter of the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna, our life can be perfected. Dear devotees. See, when we take shelter means we are going to get all these things because we have taken shelter at the lotus feet. That means all the symbols, we have taken shelter at all the symbols also, isn't it? That means the mercy will come like that. Next is flag. Jai Shri Radha, can you read?
Allows security and protection from fear of devotees meditating on the lotus feet. The flag of the Radha faith is proclaiming supreme victory for God.
So flag means what? It is security and protection. We see in the flag, when the flag is in the war happening, somebody raises that flag means we are powerful, victory. In the olden days, they has to have this forts in India, forts. So on the fort, you see somebody's flag is there, that means that fort belongs to that king, right? So all the enemy will try to actually go and replace the flag. So at least they think, okay, now it's my kingdom. So similarly, when we see this flag means that victory will come in our way. And especially Radharani has won over Krishna. So we can also win that. So it's such a nice thing. Now, next one is very small. So let me see if I can make it a little bigger. I don't know, I can do it. Okay. Is it too small?
I can do
Yeah, Bilaswa, you do it.
fish. Fish cannot exist without water. Devotees cannot live a moment without the lotus feet of Radha Sandhu. On Radha's food, it indicates he cannot live a moment without the beloved Sham. The picture minds resemble a fish. So one must diligently practice meditation to fix the lotus feet of Radha Govinda in his heart. The lotus feet of Radha Govinda can never be in a right way. The heart must become liquefied with loving neighbors to attract the feet of their faith. The faith marker, the insignia of Cupid's love on Krishna's foot is right the devotee is desired for amorous effort. Also indicates that Krishna has conquered Cupid, thereby showing Cupid's flag of surrender on the soul of his faith. It indicates that during prologue, Krishna assumes the form of Matsya, the fifth incarnation, to save his devotee.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
So-
Krishna.
When we look at the fish, means we have to remember that we cannot live without Krishna. Completely dependent. That is how it is. Like fish cannot live without water. You give fish, okay, fish, I'll give pizza, pasta, and all that. Fish says, no, please put me in water. I will eat those algae and grass and all that. So this is how our condition will become if we take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet. Let's go to the next one. It's a lotus. This is also very small. So, Bilaswa will have to read major of the part. Please go ahead.
Lotus. The nectar filled lotus creates deep proud prema in the minds of the be-like devotees who meditate on the lotus feet of Radha Govinda. The lotus, the symbol of Lakshmi Devi, indicates that devotees who remember Radha Govinda's lotus feet will always be successful. The lotus feet of Radha Sam are so soft that they can only be compared to lotus feet. At first glance, their feet appear like fresh lotus blossoms. It denotes the Radha Govinda's lotus feet always living Vrajamuni, which is shaped like a lotus. It means that one who always meditates on the lotus feet of Radha will soon become fortunate because the divine couple grand moon on the new of the lotus. The lotus or Radha's foot refers to period of a month. When Krishna's lotus hand material face, it also refers to the small blue lotus flower that Radhika always carries in her hand. Radha often uses it to gently nap, a gently tap Sam when he misbehaves.
Misbehaves when Krishna misbehaves. Oh, she'll say, Krishna, don't do this. Sometimes it happens, like with your husband or something, hey, don't do this. Like that, they tell each other, no, not good right now. We'll do it later. Something like that. So, like that. So, look at each and every symbol having such a beautiful meaning here. This is so when we chant, we can even keep this lotus feet in front of us and we can meditate on the qualities of each of that. And then think about it and then keep chanting. Just imagine how deep our chanting would become. And therefore, these particular symbols and the explanation are given in that book by Mahanidhi Swami, so that we all can, whoever is reading it can understand this. So it is a mercy of our Guru Parampara that we can all read and understand that. So next, are you going to read? Yeah, please go ahead.
This mark reveals that those who take shelter of the lotus feet will perfectly be indicates that when the mind of the devotee reaches the of the feet, then frame and Jesus, the overflows appear down.
Hare Krishna. So we'll be free. Normally, what happens? The bow has is but the thread which is strung on that, but here is unstrung, means we'll become free. So this is how each and every symbol is given. Let's read the next one. Next one is a god. What is god? It is the one which is used by the elephant to control the elephant. Elephant is a huge animal, but to control, like we call it Ankush, I think. Hindi or something we call. I don't know what it's called in Marathi. In Hindi it is called Ankush. So it is like a small object, very small thing, but it's like a metal, and then it's got a sharp, not very sharp, but blunt edge, which is pointed. So you can put it on the elephant, and the elephant will take turn and do certain behavior. So that's how the elephant driver will control the elephant through that. So that is called God. Yes, the Kava, can you please read?
It's the meditation of Bhagavatam lotus feet brings the eloquence of the devotee's mind under control and keeps them on the right path. On Radha's foot, the word shows that Radha and only Radha can completely control the mad elephant.
So this means if you want to control Krishna, the Radharani controls Krishna. Nobody else can control. Radharani fully controls Krishna, 100%. Krishna is begging to Radha, please come me to Nikunj. No, you cannot come. All those things. So we have very loving pastime. But similarly, if you want to get control, if you want to get our mind under control, because mind is moving here and there all the time. If you want to bring that, then we can meditate on Krishna's lotus feet and mind will become absorbed. So, yeah. Next is, so Robert Prabhu, are you able to read this one, or is too small for you too? The first one, the triangle.
I can probably read it, Prabhu.
Okay, please try.
Okay, triangle, Krishna. Devotees who take shelter of Krishna's feet get saved from the snares of the three modes and the threefold miseries represented by the three sides of the triangle. The lotus feet of Shyam are the first and last refuge for the inhabitants of the three worlds. Krishna's lotus feet are the safest sanctuary for the demigods, humans, and animals as well. Everyone should resort to Krishna's lotus feet with full concentration of body, mind, and words. Krishna's feet have attracted the fixed gaze of the three eyes of Lord Shiva. Hare Krishna.
See, everywhere three are there. Three more, three world, Shiva's three eyes. Then concentration of body, mind, and all three things. Everything is three. So see, all the symbol has very specific meaning. Why triangle? Why not square? Right? It's a triangle. So there is a specific meaning, and that is what Acharyas are explaining so nicely. All our Puranas have this wonderful, wonderful explanation.
So this looks like a double triangle. One triangle and get that.
No, double triangle is a triangle which is having an edge. That's what it is. So, okay, next one. Barley corn. So there is a barley corn which is there. So let me make it. So is Akshay able to read? Let me make it bigger for Akshay. Yes, please read and then I'll move around.
So we expect translated on the.
Then I will cut it. Hare Krishna. So barley corn is a very small. It's called jaw. Jaw. And it is good. A lot of people eat that also. Grains on. So it is good. But think that it gives nourishment, and all the stuff.
After maybe you school लगाते हैं तो भी- I don't know.
Oh, 9 days, no? Girls put it across that one.
पहले दिन किए थे, and by 9 days.
By 9 days they grow up and that like that. Yeah. All this. Vrata, they used to do vrata, right? And yes. So they used to do that. So basically, when job is what when you plant it, you grow and then you get multiply, right? So you get a lot of opulences basically. So you get opulences. What is our opulence? Devotee opulence? Is money opulence? No, we get more bhakti. We will be able to more and more fixed into Krishna consciousness. We develop love to read Shastra. We develop to eat prasadam. We develop to chant more. That is our opulence. Our taste in bhakti going down can be measured that we are not able to chant nicely. After 6 rounds, we think, oh, it's done for the day. Oh, I've read things. We are not trying to do more. That means our bhakti has become stagnant. We should always have a hankering to do more and more and more. So we should not feel bored that, oh, chanting is boring, reading is boring, lecture, I can read all 15 minutes. You should be like, I want to listen more and more. Why this chapter? Why this, class ended so quickly? I wish Prabhupada spoke longer classes like that. So that's how it is. Okay. Next is half moon. So, Bilaswa, can you please read?
Half moon. It signifies that demigods like Lord Shiva have decorated their own heads with the folds of Radha Govinda's lotus feet. It also indicates that devotees who likewise decorate their own hands with the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna can become exalted pure devotees like Lord Shiva. Just as the moon showers nectar with its cooling rays, similarly, the soothing lotus feet of Radha shower nectar upon their devotees, which extinguishes the frequent material miseries, so that the devoted minds may decide at their fate. Rather than the Vya, the symbol of the moon, which is the presiding deity of the mind. It means that the real moon has stability in shell and appears in half form before the splendorous full moon of their lustrous tonals. Just as the half moon is progressing towards its full size and glory. Similarly, the benefit of one who day by day expands the glory of Radha in the court of faith certainly increases to the topmost degree.
Hare Krishna. So here it's compared with Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva has a half moon, right? So he says Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambho. Lord Shiva is the topmost devotee. So if we also meditate on this, we can also become a topmost devotee. So we become a very, very wonderful devotee. Therefore, this absorption of all the symbol is required. And understanding, after we understand this, what does the symbol mean? And when we absorb on that, then that becomes even more beneficial, right? So that's what it is. Okay. Next, up curving line is both on Radha and Krishna. So Mata is, can you read or it's too
Yes.
small? Okay.
Upper line, Radha Krishna. This mark signifies that devotee who cling to the lotus feet of Radha Shyam as if holding on to a lifeline will be transported to the spiritual world. It indicates that the path to Radha Govinda is very direct, straight and narrow, like a razor's edge. It also reveals that Radha Govinda's feet can reach down to the lowest of fallen souls who take the shelter of them and deliver them to the highest destination.
Hare Krishna. Such a wonderful meditation of this. Look at this. If you see a rope, we don't understand. But here, how wonderfully Acharyas are explaining. Because Krishna is trying to reaching to the lowest person also and then lifting to the highest possible place, which is in Goloka.
Very straight and direct.
Yeah.
That's also
Straight and direct and narrow.
narrow. At least.
Prema gali ati sakhari, ame do rasamaye. They say in what is it called? Ek myan mein do talwar nahi reh sakti, something like that, right? So here also means we cannot have much real thinking as well as spiritual thinking and try to get, no, then we'll not get Krishna. Prema gali ati sakhari, tame do rasamaye means what? We have to have single-minded focus. I want only Krishna, nothing else. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundari. Hamara kya hai? Na dhanam, janam, sundari and Krishna. And Krishna comes fourth. That is our condition, unfortunately. First is dhanam, Prabhuji, we need money. Then I should be born in some aristocrat family. Then have a beautiful wife or a handsome husband and beautiful children. This is our thinking. And then finally, if I have everything, then I will do bhajan. If I have time. But when we have this, I have seen many devotees who have come and gone. The moment they are more opulent, they have got more money, bhajan is gone. Bhajan is gone, dear devotees. I'm not developing fear, but this is a fact. Very long back, many years ago, Adiga Prabhu was speaking and said, do you think that you will have $10 million in your account and you will sit in this class? You will not sit in this class. You will go on vacation. You will go in Alps. You want to go to Switzerland. You will go on the cruise. You will not do bhajan. And that's a fact. If you have more money, bhajan will not happen. Because then we feel what? I am independent. Oh, I have so much money. I can do things on my own. Dependence comes when we are having difficulties in life. When we remember Krishna, when we are in difficulties, when a child is crying for mother, when child is hungry, when child needs something, there is child in his own world. So it is like that, dear devotees. So we have to be very careful. We may get opulences, and it is good by Krishna's mercy, it is all coming very nice. We should be thankful to Krishna, but make sure that those opulences does not take us away from Krishna. It is so important. Okay, water pots. So, Abha, are you going to read it?
Krishna's feet or the golden pot of pure nectar to be freely consumed by the surrendered souls. Indeed, they will never be bereft of nectar, for this pot always remains full. Just as a full pot is an auspicious symbol, similarly, the devotees who meditate on Krishna's feet will always experience auspicious. Notice that Krishna's feet pour out honey nectar to extinguish the burning fire of separation felt by the gopis, as well as the blazing threefold miseries felt by the separated devotees. To hear the human statements of the village gopis, Krishna bears this emblem of their water pot rests upon his lotus feet.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So this is what is these all golden pots, not ordinary pots, full of what? Nectar. And how many are there? Four pots. So much nectar we can get. All the miseries will go away, dear devotees. So therefore we should meditate on this Krishna's lotus feet. And Krishna is giving this. Okay. And next, Rishikesh, are you able to read or you have to come closer or something? Yeah, maybe.
Yes. This indicates that meditation upon the lotus feet of Bhagavatam cuts down the six enemies of love, anger, greed, illusion, pride, and envy. Ram, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mada, and Sarya. It indicates Tejas Tattva, or the principle of brilliance by which Radha Govinda destroyed the darkness of sin from within the hearts of their devotees. Furthermore, this mark on Radha's foot shows that she is the ruler of her own kingdom, formed by the circle of Rajamandala. For this, on Radha and Krishna's foot represents the time factor, who always meditates on Krishna's lotus feet will never be destroyed by time, but he will live eternally in the blissful world of Rajamandala.
Hari Bol.
Very bold.
The knots will cut away. That's what we want to cut, right? We want to cut down this material world. In fact, in the next verses, you will see, we may not be able to cover that today, but when we do that session, there, Draupadi Devi is saying, Krishna, please cut all the knots with my family. Because that is what is binding me here. Right? That is how it is. So we will meditate on all the symbols and lotus feet. Such an amazing explanation here by Acharyas. Okay. Concentric circles. So, Akshay, are you going to read better? Please go ahead. Hare Krishna. Thank you. So this is such a beautiful explanation. Many explanations are given. One, we can meditate on the Ras Leela, the Krishna is dancing, and we can meditate on that. Of course, Krishna is everywhere, within, without, all those things. But the more will come when we meditate on the Ras Leela, especially devotee can meditate on that. So we can think like that. Oh, Krishna is having this wonderful pastime. When will I be able to go back and witness this? Then go to Vrindavan. So our desire will increase. When we think about it, then our desire will increase. Right? When we see these beautiful things, like I remember long ago, when I think it was in early 90s or somewhere, when the Discovery Channel and all this started, right? And they were showing such an amazing world, And then my Masi, my mother's sister, usually. If the Discovery Channel was not there, if they were not shown, we would have died without seeing all these things. We would have not understood the beauty of this world. You're saying we would not have understood the beauty of this world. Because they go so close to the fish and the animals and plants, which we cannot see. But she was saying that if this channel was not there, we would have died without understanding world is so beautiful. This exactly is our condition. We are in this material world. We are thinking this is beautiful, but it is not. Beauty is there at the lotus feet of Krishna. So when through the chakshu of the Shastra and the Acharya, when we see this, then our utkanta to go to Vrindavan. No, I want to go, I want to see this. People want to go and see Eiffel Tower because they've heard it's such a beautiful place, monument, all the stuff. Oh, I want to go and see, the Niagara Falls because, millions of gallons of water falls and this creates such an amazing scene. I want to go and see. Why? Because they've heard the glories. They have seen the pictures. But here, we are again seeing through the Shastra Chakshu. So our utkanta to go there should also increase by reading this, isn't it? That's how we should read all this. Okay. Let's go to next umbrella. Yes, Abba, can you read this better?
Umbrella. From the feet of the Buddha proves that those who take shelter of their lotus feet are protected from the incessant rainfall of material miseries. On the other feet, the umbrella indicates that her lotus feet provide relief to her beloved from the scorching heat felt in her separation. It also refers to Krishna holding Govardhan up like an umbrella to protect from the devastating winds of evil. It also means that those who sit in the shade of their feet become exalted, just like great kings who usually have umbrellas that over them.
Such an amazing explanation. So many beautiful. I read it again and again, and we feel such an ecstasy on each one of them. It's like, when we are walking in a scorching sun and somebody comes and says, okay, we feel, thank you. It's raining, we are trying to run. In India, especially, sometimes happens, we are running and somebody say, hey, come here, I'll give you shelter. We feel, thank you. Just for that 2 minutes of rain saving, we feel so much thankful to that person. And here Krishna is going to give complete freedom from the scorching heat of this material world. The miseries which are falling like a raindrops, we'll get complete freedom from that. How much grateful we should be to Krishna, that Krishna will get this umbrella one day. It's such a wonderful. Okay. Next is cow's hoof print. Vishwada, can you read or it's too small for you? Of course, you can come closer and read.
It signifies that for those who take full shelter of Krishna's lotus feet, the vast internal of material existence become as small and insignificant as the waterhead in the footprint of a cow, that it can be easily crossed.
Yes. Look at this. When we take shelter, the ocean becomes like a hoof print. For hoof print crossing, do we need a boat? You can just jump over. Even a child can jump over, right? But if you are stuck in a material world, then even a big boat cannot save us. So when we take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet, then we overcome such a nice thing. Wow. Okay. Last 4 symbols. Yeah, so we have been reading 15. This is 4. Okay. So Vilas Prabhu, please go ahead.
Thunderbolt. Okay.
A means Krishna.
Krishna. This mark
It's not alphabet.
this mark to that meditation on the lotus feet of Krishna, massive 2 pieces, the mountains of devotees, karmic reaction to past sins.
Yes.
Whoever holds onto Krishna's lotus feet becomes as exalted as Lord Indra, whose weapon is the thunderbolt. This mark shows that the glories of Krishna's dynasty were established by his own great grandson's name,
Vajrana.
who built shrines and installed various deities to preserve the many places of Krishna's pastime. Vijayandava also initiated regular festival celebrations.
Hare Krishna. So thunderbolt is considered to be the very powerful and very strong weapon, right? It can cut through anything. So similarly, all our miseries and all this thing which is there can be cut down because it will cut to pieces, like a thunderbolt will put on that. So it is all our karmic, because only Krishna can see. If we think that it is not that our karmas are going away. Please remember that. Our karmas are there, so much karmas are there, that even if you take millions of births again, they will not go away. But because Krishna says, okay, I am cutting it down, you come to me. Therefore, we can go back. But if we are saying that, okay, let the karma get over, by its process, then that is not going to happen. Every day we develop some new karma. And we're getting further and further entangled, like, the banyan tree. We don't know which is the branch and which is the root and which is the main trunk. We don't know in a banyan tree. There's a tree in India, in near Bharuch in Gujarat called Kabirwad. It is spread in, kilometers. We don't know which is there. Similarly, there is same thing is there in Telangana also one place. They have built a park and it is in miles. And you will not know where the tree started, original. It is like that. So our karmas are like that. They are so intertwined that we don't know what to cut and what to remove. Only Krishna can cut and say, okay, remove everything, come to me. Only Krishna can say this, nobody else. Nobody knows how the karma works. There is no clear explanation in Shastra how the karma is going to work. So, no understanding. Only way is Krishna. Only he can cut. Okay. Next, yeah, Puja Mother is Swastika.
Swastika, Krishna. It shows that nothing inauspicious can come to one who cherishes Krishna's feet in his heart.
Hare Krishna. So Swastika, even in India, though do not believe in Krishna, they at their home, they'll put, right? Swastika, they put the swastika in their homes, right? And what do you call it? Chocolate लगा दोनों side पे एक लगा देते हैं, right? But somehow Nazis have used it differently. So people, you know, I remember when we do puja Dashara Day, right? Dashara Day we do weapon puja like that. So I did puja for my laptop, and I have a symbol here. Maybe you can see the red symbol. You see, first thing here is probably gone, maybe little bit. So when I was there, I was in a client meeting. One person came and said, "Can you put like sticker on this?" I said, "What on this?" I don't know. I did a puja and all this swastiks. No, but they might think this like Nazis. What is it? This is the thinking people have. So, but it is a very auspiciousness. The symbol of swastika means a lot of auspiciousness will happen in our home. So, a lot of auspicious will come to us. We get blessings from devotee, Vaishnava will bless us, all those things. So, therefore, it is like that. Yes, next, Abha, can you read after?
This marks in Krishna's feet are well protected in the two directions. It also shows that nothing within the kingdom of eight directions is unattainable for people.
Hare Krishna. Everything. All the eight direction. Northeast, west, south, northeast, southeast, like that, everywhere we can get that. So beautiful. Okay, last is blackberry fruit, jambu. Yes, Rishikesh Prabhu. Jambu, you must know this fruit, right? Yes.
Krishna's feet. This mark shows that Krishna's lotus feet are the only worshipable objects for the residents of Jambudip, island of Lanka, according to the
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Jambu is like a very beautiful sweet. If you eat it, everybody can tell you you've eaten jambu. Oh, mouth, tongue, everything become purple. Everything become purple. But it's very sweet, very beautiful, very tasty. Yes, very different taste. And here also it comes, sometime in June, July, very expensive. We get it because we love it. In our home, we had a big tree in front of our home itself. And I used to climb in my childhood and bring down so much. So where we live, it is called Jambudvip. You see that? It's called Jambudvip. So Jambu is coming from this Jambu. So island of blackberry. So look at this, dear devotee. Such a beautiful explanation of these, all the symbols on the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. They're so amazing. Right? So I think it's already 8:45, so we'll stop here. Maybe we covered only 3 verses. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I think no.
Yeah, we probably know the symbol, but then the significance and the meaning behind that is what we can. So I thought we'll spend some time, but then we could only cover 3 verses today. So I hope. So
You have the picture of Radha.
yeah, I've got all the 4. I will send all 4. I've got Krishna's, Radharani, Nityanand Prabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
They have this.
Everybody has got beautiful symbol. So everybody has a beautiful thing. I will send all 4. I know Robert Prabhu is also looking forward to receive that.
Yes, Prabhu, very much.
Okay, so thank you very much, dear devotees. Thank you for your association. So we'll meet again. Yes, next week. Next week, yes, we'll meet next week. And week after that, 2 weeks we will not be able to meet because week after I'll be in Dallas for Sadhu Sangha on 26th. Yeah, long weekend. Sadhu Sangha is there, so I'm going there. And after that is a Panihari festival. So 2 weeks we will have a holiday. He's coming on Wednesday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Friday evening is the program, but it's a private program for Western outreach. So we are not going. So Prabhuji will do it. So that's how it is. Okay. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yasya kripa sindhubhye vacha pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Thank you, Raman Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I hope you feel better soon and we'll have your association next year.
Yes, me too, Prabhu. I miss it very much. Thank you, Prabhu.